there is going to continue to be a debate between when Ethereum withdrawals will come, right? And this has been something that has been debated on Twitter by Michael Zotool, one of the core devs, along with, as far as following all of them, you got Tim Biko, who's been talking about it as well. Look, the way the core dev team works, it's going to be extremely difficult to determine if they will actually deploy with Shanghai or not, because you could get onto any one of the Ethereum dev calls and you could hear basically both sides of the story and the arguments going between them. The question is what are they saying to the public? And as of right now, this is where I have some concerns, because today Ethereum Foundation eliminates the estimated withdrawal time frame for staked ETH. Ethereum holders will have to wait for clarified information on when they can withdraw their staked ETH after eliminating the dates from Ethereum Foundation's official website. Ethereum has finally transformed from a proof of work to a proof of stake consensus mechanism after users waited in zeal for this transition for years. The real question looming in the minds of Ethereum stakers is, when can Ethereum stakers withdraw their staked ETH? A query that is still unclear today. Before the merge, it was evident that Ethereum Foundation's team had made an approximation of opening staked withdrawals between 6 to 12 months after the Ethereum mainnet merged with proof of stake Beacon Chain. Ethereum publicly displayed this information on Ethereum Foundation's official website. And I remember actually having this discussion with the team previously, where on Twitter with Michael specifically, because he's one that is a proponent of basically not having withdrawals with Shanghai, and me saying, well, it's stated here, like on the Ethereum Foundation website, ethereum.org, that it would come with the Shanghai upgrade. And he was arguing with me that no, that it's never been stated that it would come with the Shanghai upgrade. To which I replied, it's literally, and we screenshotted it, we talked about it on the channel. I showed you guys that they had committed to Shanghai being the launch of unstaking. And then basically the devs were like, well, no, we don't know. And they got really, really wishy-washy on it. And so the outlook is like, well, this doesn't look good. You need to be clear with especially at this point, with how centralized it is and how much the ruling class, the developers have, how much power they have over this chain. It needs to be clear when this is going to be unstakeable, in my humble opinion. So it does look like that after the merge, the Ethereum Foundation, probably after we had this discussion on Twitter that we talked about, they've now, silently removed it, right? They've removed or eliminated the information from the official website to avoid anybody like restless investors or people like me looking for it, right? It is unclear why Ethereum has concealed the information, but the most probable course is that developers are anticipating that withdrawals will take longer than 12 months. Since Ethereum opened staking pools to enterprising investors, users have staked more than 14.5 million ETH, equivalent to more than $18 billion with the current market price of Ethereum. Investors can earn from staking in three ways. The deposit makes staking rewards for stakers, which currently stands at 4.1% of invested capital. Investors may enjoy capital gains when ETH increases in value over the period, which, like we've talked about, is a problem because that incentivizes, of course, unstaking, which incentivizes basically a bank run on the staked ETH, which is probably why I think, in my humble opinion, you will see them continue to delay withdrawals. Validators earn from fees paid by users for every block validated. It is, however, unfortunate that Ethereum staking is currently a one-way ticket, only as the ETH Foundation has not issued any withdrawal means or dates. This implies that investors can't withdraw the staked or earned ETH. Enjoying staking rewards is limited only to validators of the proof of stake network. However, the validation fee is very minute compared to staking rewards. Postponing withdrawal dates is something that Ethereum fans highly expected. Ethereum had informed the public that staked ETH would not be available for withdrawal immediately after the merge. It is also likely that the process would be slow once the leaves begin, involving releasing withdrawals gradually and in the queue. The queue could last for months before investors could finally get their hands on unstaked ETH, even after the Ethereum permits withdrawals. And this is where I have a bone to pick, because what is this? This is exactly what CeFi has been doing. So what we're seeing is a centralized nature of controlling or monetary policy, manipulation of the monetary policy to basically falsely prop up the price of Ethereum post-merge. And this basically makes it look like to investors that it is worth a lot more than it actually is. And so you end up in a position where, frankly, like the everybody that is staking is going to be chomping at the bit to unstake. But as soon as they unstake to gain any of the rewards that they have, especially anybody that was staking when Beacon Chain really first unlocked, which was definitely sub like $400, those people are ready and chomping at the bit, right? They've earned a bunch of rewards. They probably want to unstake at least a bit of it. So what do? You got to slow that down, because otherwise you end up having a bank run no different than you see with CeFi. Platforms like Celsius, of course, and platforms like BlockFi and Gemini and KuCoin, anything centralized. So what does that look like? Well, it's really interesting, because what ETH looks like, what Ethereum now looks like, just from an objective standpoint, is a centralized shitcoin. That is what Ethereum looks like. It looks like it's essentially, even though it runs DeFi, behind the scenes, behind the curtain, you pull that curtain back, oh, DeFi on Ethereum is just a centralized exchange. That's what it looks like, right? It has the exact same interactions on a monetary policy that you see with CeFi. It's pretty crazy if you think about it. Now, I did the math for you guys too, because I wanted to show you guys this. But we have the total ETH staked right now, which is almost 15 million. So 14,989,247. That's at this time right now. Current APR is 5.3%. Keep in mind you can't withdraw that 5.3% right now, but it sounds good. And then the total supply is 122,373,866. We run that through a percent calculator right now, and you're looking at 12.2% of the total amount of ETH is currently staked. And so that's quite a bit, right? That's 12% plus with the burning via EIP 1559. This does have the potential to basically increase, meaning that because all of the fees are burning and rotating those burns and ETH goes deflationary, it does mean that you could end up in a position where the amount of ETH staked eventually becomes more than the amount of, ETH that's available on the network, which means if you do allow unstaking, you do have this potential of basically a huge dip in the price. So I think they're going to have to mitigate that. Ethereum Foundation is clearly going to mitigate that by having this sort of queue system, which will basically kind of slow down the bleed, and you won't have a bank run on Ethereum staking, but it's something to pay attention to. I'd like to hear your thoughts and opinions in chat, of course. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.